Welcome to the Broski Doodles podcast, the best podcast in all the land. It's your boy, KIKO Flow, Kiko Cervantes, and today we got you with a movie review with the crew. I'm with my boy DJ BJ, one of the classics, one of the OGs, not only in Miami, but in the podcast. And today we got the movie review with the crew. This one is actually named very similar to one that we reviewed very recently for the Halloween month. And this is, it's supposed to be like a thriller, right? So it is within those Halloween boundaries that we had, but it's definitely not like one of those scary movies that are just like ghosts and shit. But DJ BJ will give me his opinion anyways. We're gonna review a movie called The Stranger. Not The Strangers, which we reviewed some weeks ago, but The Stranger. And it just came out a few weeks ago on Netflix. Mm-hmm. And, well, you can see it there if you want to. If you haven't seen it, the best is for you to see it and then continue watching this podcast. If you decide to do so and watch this later, you have other episodes that you can watch that are coming out right now that are not about movie reviews.
Before we go out beyond this point, spoiler alert, we are going to talk about the movie in its entirety. Yeah. So if you haven't seen it and you want to see it, stop now, go watch it, and then come back.
Yeah. And believe me, it's such a much better experience if you do that. You go watch it and then come back, and it's like if you were you boys talking shit about a movie. It's amazing. It's really what I do it for. I do it for the kiddos. So let's get started. The Stranger. It's an Australian movie. Has some obviously Australian actors. The two main ones, I've seen them in other movies, but I can't really pick out their faces. But I've seen them in other movies. And it's based on a true story. Now, I read up a bit on this, and it's loosely based on a story. It's right. The movie is not really specifically about the crime that happened, but they used a lot of the similarities to make this story. And fuck, I don't know where to start, because this movie, it was a weird one. I appreciated some of the things, but then other things, I was just a bit confused. The movie seemed to be very slow to me. And sometimes biopics tend to be slow because sometimes what's happening already happened. You can make it more suspenseful than it is. But there are ways of telling a story to make it more entertaining. And I think this movie lacked entertainment. And there are some things that I'm going to save, that I'm going to, say that were good in the movie. But there were others that I wasn't cool with. The start of the movie is a bit confusing because you're not really sure what's happening. And then there's this scenes that go from one to the other, and it's not clear if it's a flashback or if it's in the same time frame. And I'm not saying that alone is a bad thing. If you bring it together at the end, then those confused moments at the beginning make it cooler when the climax comes and you can, oh, fuck, this and that. But I don't think this movie had those climatic moments that really gave this release at the end. It kind of just left me hanging with not really much information and not much closure. So I don't know. It was one of those weird movies where I don't think it's a bad movie, but it's definitely a strange one. It is a stranger. What are your first thoughts on this one?
Buddy, I don't know what it is about these film festivals and them liking movies that are like 60, 70, 80% of the time driving a vehicle. Like they're in the car the majority of the film, just talking to each other. And this was basically just a exploration / development of these two characters side by side. And the deeper it gets, the more strange it gets.
But I almost feel like the stranger that it gets is not because of something. It's almost like just to be weird. And that bothered me a bit because there were things that were unclear, like him doing this gay advances on the guy I don't know if it was just to show how much of a sexual deviant Henry was, the the guy that killed the kid. But they don't even tell you at the end if the motherfucker goes to jail or not, which bothers me. That the concept point in the movie where that was the only thing left to sort of surprise you and like bring some closure, because there was no violence in the movie, there was no guns, there was no killings, and like you said, it was just being in the fucking car, talking. I appreciated some of the things that were developing, like the undercover cop Mark. You could see him becoming a little crazy as he's in the undercover work, and that made sense, and you can see how their relationship kind of evolves. But then it was all done for nothing because that didn't pan out to something else where that would have been worth doing in the first place. They show the cop's kid the whole movie, and you're thinking something's gonna happen to the kid, and then nothing happens. So I'm bothered by things that are not relevant to the movie and not even bring some new color to the movie. Because I'm not saying you cannot have characters that are very low value in the sense that, like the kid, right? He had nothing to do with the movie. And I'm not saying you cannot have a kid like that in a movie but it has to mean something. It has to be there for a reason. That reason could be as simple as, look, this guy has problems because his wife died and now he lives with his kid and he has to protect this kid, whatever the fuck it is. But they don't bring any context to that conversation with the kid. And that makes me also be aware of the kid the whole movie, but nothing happens.
I mean, with the kid, even though you might see it as being irrelevant, the kid is there to show. This is what I feel. The kid is there to show that this case for this guy, this undercover cop, is personal, because we established that there's like this whole beginning of the story, and then you get to like the middle, and it goes like back before, and then it goes like that. When that happens, so then now that these people know what this guy did a long time ago, and they're trying to uncover it now. So in doing so, this case becomes personal for him because he has a child, and he puts himself in the shoes of the parents that lost his child this way. Like, shit, like this could happen to my child, and just for him going out and playing out in the yard. So he doesn't, I don't think he gets mad at the child. He just gets frustrated or like scared that he could get kidnapped by the likes of people like this,
Okay. So this is another one of those moments where I say something that I think is very true, and then John immediately rectifies it. That is true. I mean, of course, the kid is supposed to let you know that the cop is also scared, and it takes it personal because it's a kid that got disappeared.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
more or less the same age.
And there were many stages of the movie where he would wake up and think that he's seeing the guy, even coming for his kid. So yeah, there were many deliberate scenes that led you to believe like, oh, this guy, is paranoid about this motherfucker coming and grabbing his kid, or someone of the likes, like you said. Mm-hmm. So I think that that is true. I was watching the movie with my dad, and he said when he was getting to the end of the movie, he's like, oh, that guy's not gonna go to jail because they're not gonna find enough evidence, and then he's gonna get out and go fucking kidnap the cop's kid. And to be fair, that would have made the movie a lot better.
That would have been a more entertaining movie, I think. Like if they would have been like, all right, we got nothing on this guy, and then he goes after him. That's what I was thinking the whole time. Like,
because I think the movie didn't develop into anything really. I mean, I like some of the concepts. I like the fact that they're trying to get a confession out of the guy by making him believe, that he's on some undercover stuff.
Mm-hmm. I mean, not necessarily he thought that he was submerging into a like an underworld kind of scenario where he was trying to like become even more of a criminal. He already did like nasty things, and then the whole violent past that he had, like that was another weird thing that maybe it would have given the character more, like a more visceral effect if in the beginning they would have revealed this whole thing where he beat up a kid or from his congregation or something. I don't know, like that whole scenario in that police room,
Yeah, the church part.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, he's part of some church. That was weird too. Yeah, that there was this lady talking about how, like, if there was a crime of this kind, he was probably part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things that we can talk about with this movie. One of them being, how far do the cops go into finding a kid? Like,
dude, like that was the entire police force was there. Like, what isn't there any other case like
of the country
dude? And what is it? This happened in 2002, and it was now 2010, 8 years later, and they're still going after it. Like, and with this intensity, with this huge involvement of so many people, like, yo, like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, if this happened in the US, you're fucked.
What if this happened in Spain?
Oh, you're fucked too.
you're royally fucked.
you're even more fucked. And if this happened in Venezuela or Dominican Republic,
oh my goodness,
you wouldn't even appear in the newspapers, boy. No, but it is crazy, and they were like, "Oh, this is the most important and craziest case in the whole of the history of Queensland or whatever." I'm just like, damn, I gotta move to this place, I guess. Nothing happens.
God damn.
No, but yeah. So the fact that the whole fucking police force of the whole country was there. One thing that I didn't get, I mean, they got the confession, and this was an interesting part. Because they made him believe he's, becoming part of a criminal organization, and like, oh, look, by the way, we found out that you did some shit. You need to tell us because we're here, to try to clean it up,
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they get the confession and taken to the exact place where it is and all this. And like, I found it to be like interesting and cool. But also, there was this part where like the officials at the police station are speaking, and one of the guys is like, look, this is stupid. We can't get this guy. If we take him to jail, when it comes to trial, we won't have enough evidence. And the confession that he did was pretty much entrapment. If you could say,
yeah, it's like inadmissible in court.
Yeah, inadmissible. So then why the fuck even go through with it in that way? But I mean, I guess if you find out that it is him, now you try to find evidence for it. And at the end of the movie, they sort of show that they found the evidence. Yeah,
so, I mean, like the hand, I was like, this is it. This is the culmination of the movie. No.
And I think you said something earlier about the Sundance Festival films or the Cannes.
Yeah, all these film festival places.
Yeah, I gotta say something. This is gonna be a little. I don't know if the word is blunt. A little bullish. It's gonna be harsh, but maybe we should make our own fucking festival. The Broski Doodles dance and movie festival.
The dance.
No, because it's Sundance or some shit like that. I don't know. Like it has to have like a little like the Catalina wine mixer. It has to have that feeling, like the Broski Doodles movie experience or the Broski Doodles cinematic adventures. Summer, and we do it in Marseille or I don't know, like in Malaga, Spain. It's like, oh fuck, you guys are going. Yeah, no, this movie won the Malaga Broski Doodles Cinematic Adventure Festival. Oh damn, that's a very long name. Probably people want to remember it. Yeah, they are a bit different. No, because I'm just saying all these movies that we've seen from this Sundance, Moondance festivals, they're always slow as fuck, and they have a bunch of not relevant dialogue in vehicles for extended periods of time.
So we make a movie about having a a non-relevant conversation in a vehicle.
Or we make a movie about having relevant conversations in a vehicle. At least remember the one we watched, the Japanese one.
Yeah,
Or
drive my car.
yeah, Drive My Car. Yeah, very beautiful. Yeah, Japan. Oh, I love it. It's a very beautiful country. Very, very scenic. But these motherfuckers need to learn how to make a movie. Write a script, son.
And mind you, there were people that were training for a play, so they knew about scripts and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
like,
chose not.
they had an idea, right, of how this works.
Yeah, they chose not to. Oh my god.
No, but this movie, man, it had potential. Like I really thought that, like the scenes and the eeriness of like that deserted Australia, you know, land, you know, in the West where like nothing lives and shit. I mean, yeah, the predators and shit, but not. No, I don't know, child predators, but like
Yeah, like the actual
animals.
predators. Yeah. But it's funny that you said that. Where the predators
Right.
live.
Yeah, no pun intended. I mean, at one point I thought the guy Mark was just gonna kill the guy because he felt like, okay, we're not gonna catch him on evidence. Let me just kill him.
That's what I thought when they took him out to that to the to the kill site where he dumped the body. And I'm like, oh, they're gonna kill him right here. Like, that's it. It's over. But no, they arrested him.
Every time they met with the guy, it looked like a mafia hit was gonna happen, right? Every time it's like, oh, get in the car. We don't know what's happening. Will follow us. And the deals that they were making, like the mafia deals, they were just so strange. Like, oh, take this briefcase over there, and I mean, I guess not strange. That's what they do, but it just, I don't know if the guy. I mean, they had to shorten it, but it was very quick as to like now. Oh no, now you're one of the leaders of the crime organization.
But then the whole, like, every time that there was like a transfer of money from Joel Edgerton, which was Mark, he's actually a really good actor. I liked he was really good in this movie. Like the drama in his face. You know, you could taste it. You know, how much it is. But every time that he would give money to one of the other, mafia guys or whatever, they would just take it and they would never like open it, count it, like do like the procedure of like, hey, look, I'm checking to see if there's the right amount. They would just take it and like, all right, that's fine. And then so like there wasn't that believability that this was like it. Luckily, the guy, I mean, he was smart enough to try to hide all the evidence, but he wasn't smart enough to realize that that wasn't really real, like those exchanges that they had.
Right. Yeah. I thought it was too loose. Like the guy could have found out in many situations. But also just such a large police, like, what's it called? Like,
police effort.
Like an operation, or police effort to find out about some kid that, unfortunately is already. I mean, I'm not saying this shouldn't be done. I wish that everybody that was missing and hurt, this is done. I mean, fuck. If I was that kid, I would want this to be solved. It's funny seeing it because you don't see this commitment anywhere else.
No.
Especially in a place that's so fucking big. Like, Shit. If you needed to like try to find a body in Australia, I'm pretty sure that's a challenge. Because you have animals that are eating it as well. A Komodo dragon will fuck you up.
That's what I thought. I'm like, what are they gonna find? Bones? It's been 8 years, and there's there's water now, and there's a flood. That shit got like fucking washed away years ago. There's no way.
But they did find something on it. Now
they never revealed that. Like that was like, I wanted to
at
see
least
them
give us something, you piece of shit. And then at the end, you just let me know, like, oh yeah, he went to jail, and not even the little letters at the end to tell you something. No,
like,
just
they found that.
You know what I hate? They close the movie right after the guy raises the hand, meaning that he found something, and they end the movie like I feel the director with a rock hard dick, thinking, "Oh my god, I killed it. Yeah, that fucking killed it." And it's like, no, man, this is inconclusive.
This is inconclusive.
And the only thing that saves it, the movie, is the fact that Mark, I can't remember his real name, but he's very good actor. Kind of looks like the guy from the other movie we reviewed, X, the Matthew McConaughey.
Look-alike.
And then Henry, the crazy one, the murderer. I think both of them did great characters, and their performance was really good. I mean, Henry going crazy, and then this one being paranoid. I mean, the great actors. But I just think the script just lacked so much, or the story. Or fuck, if the story is not interesting, then fuck the real story. Like, just do something else.
The most exciting part of the whole movie was when he briefly escapes, or like he briefly, like, not that he escapes, but like they lose contact on him, and they don't know where he's at. They're trying to find him. He's like, look, I can't put out an APB to search him. You have to find him yourself. Blah, like all that stuff. And he was like gone. We don't even know where he went. That was probably the most exciting part. You're like, oh shit, this guy's gonna get away, and they're not gonna be able to like catch this case and shit. And then he shows up, and I'm like, oh fuck, this guy's done. Like, I was like, run away.
yeah, and I don't know. I'm happy the movie wasn't longer. But for the things that they needed to explain, this would have needed to be longer for you to get all the details of it. That being said, this is not a story that merits even a movie. I'm sorry, like, and it doesn't mean that it's not a tragic story. No, there's a lot of tragic stories that won't merit a movie, not because they're not tragic enough, but because at the end of the day, they have to be entertaining. And entertaining doesn't mean that we like the fact that these bad things happen to the people. No, but there has to be certain movie dynamics, climate dynamics, right? Climax dynamics, storytelling dynamics, enough of that so that it's interesting for the people that are watching it. Just it being a tragic story doesn't make it interesting and watchable. And I think that this is one of those stories where, even though some of the concepts were interesting, such as the fact that we're gonna trick him into thinking we're a mafia, and that way he's gonna confess, that part was cool. But the rest had no, like, this guy Paul. I don't even know what the fuck he was in the movie.
Paul. No, he was the initial contact.
Right, on the bus or whatever.
Yeah. So everybody was involved. Everybody in that whole squad was involved. Like, everybody that he came into contact after Paul was involved.
Right. Which, I mean, part of me is like, man, we'll try to find other criminals, bro. Like, I'm sorry for little Timmy. Fucking little Timmy, shouldn't be waiting under the underpass for a fucking bus.
What I did kind of like at the end was also the pose. You know how they talk about the stork pose, and how he did that when he was with the kid, and he did the same pose at the end. He's like, "Fuck it, I'm done. Like, this is it," and then he does the pose.
Yeah, so that part was cool. They brought it back. And then also the part about, he touches the guy's dick, which is weird.
What the fuck?
And then the next day, he's like, "Oh, look, I'm sorry about that. That was weird. I just want to let you know it's just..." You're thinking he's going to be like, "I don't know what happened to me, man. Like, please don't, let's leave it there." No, he doubles down. He's like, "The thing is..."
Triples down.
I like to watch porn with amputees.
I'm like, what does this have to do with my dick?
You remind me of an amputee.
What the fuck?
I'm thinking, please take this to the place where you eventually kill him, or try to kill him and take off his leg, and then you rape him. Because otherwise, this is just sickness for no reason, And then he started getting me thinking, fuck, what if I'm into amputee porn? I didn't even know it existed. Now I know it exists. It's in my mind.
Fuck. But then shortly after that, it is a dream scene. So then that actually never really happened.
Oh, that's true.
So, like, I did find that weird, But then like I was like, yo, what, like this is so out of pocket. This is out of place. And it had, like when you said, no significance to the whole like conversation to what happened the previous night. And then it's a dream. I'm like, oh, okay.
And also, what does that mean? Like, why put that in the movie?
Right.
There was a lot of things where I'm just like,
but they put that, I mean, as a dream sequence, they put that into the I feel, this is what I feel, they put that into the movie for Mark to see how this character is evolving into like a monster in his head. Because as I mean, he already has more or less an idea of who this person is, and as he talks to him more and more, he realizes that this person's a piece of shit, you know, like, and then like these images start coming into his head about like, because he's probably thinking like these are things that he did to the kid, you know, so.
Right. Yeah, like all the sickest stuff is going into his brain.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to give much time longer to this movie because it doesn't deserve it.
Doesn't merit it.
So I just want to go down to the score. I will give this movie a 5, and that's being generous.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because of the scenes, the actors that I liked, and some of the concepts that I liked. Mm-hmm. But overall, this is a 5 movie.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I'd say 4, bro. Like 4. It was not even like there was no elation. There was no like you weren't satisfied at the end to know whether he got away or whether he didn't, because it's very ambiguous. It's very you don't know.
Yeah, because you don't know if what they found is even enough to get. So like I think the movie could have gotten 2 more points if they just fucking gave you an ending.
Exactly.
A proper ending.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it would have been a shitty one, because it probably would have been a shitty one. But it's still a proper one.
Even if they would have said like, all right, it's inconclusive, we have to let him go. That would have been like, oh shit.
That's an ending. You know? That's an ending. Yeah.
Yeah, and now
you know the other, and now you know Mark is scared, thinking fuck.
Yeah, like oh fuck, like then all this fucking police effort of 1 million people going to find this guy, and it turned out to be shit.
That would have been better, much better.
Yes,
but instead they don't. But I mean, it's not a bad thing that it happened, because now we know in the future movies coming out of Australia.
Mm-hmm.
That I went to the Fun Dance Festival.
The Fun Dance Festival.
You're not being reviewed on the Broski Doodles again.
Okay.
No. But now, thanks for watching, guys. Let us know what you thought of this movie. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe we didn't understand it correctly. Maybe we don't have, the mindset of somebody that can actually review and give a proper analysis, a synopsis of a movie. Let us know. So that's a 4.4 and a 5. That's a 9 divided by 2, 4.5. That's what we're giving. On the Broski Doodle scale, this is a 4.5 movie. Get your shit together and improve.
Just to let you know, on Rotten Tomatoes, the tomato meter gives it a 94%.
Okay.
The audience score, however, gives it a 63%.
Okay. Well, the critics at Rotten Tomato are rotten. So we've been on that. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I love you. Peace.
Peace.